wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Part number 45, and I'm super excited to be with you guys. As always, we're gonna dive into the love of the community, then talk about what's happening on SwissBorg network. And as you can see in today's content, is gonna be talking about Breakpoint, talk about the MEX about SwissBorg, talk about some protect and burn, and of course, talk about Helium, that's a token that we just listed, and much more to go. As you guys know, my name is Sarah Swizzell. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Question of the week, it's all about the SwissBorgs. And it's true, we've created this collection. We have promised to deliver this collection to many of people who have participated in the Series A, and this will happen. I'm not going to say when exactly, but soonish. And there's a lot of surprise that will come with it, and they look really, really cool. Sarah's meme competition winner. So as you guys know, I did a little meme the other day in competition, which is about essentially creating a cool GIF. Just wanted to have a lot of GIFs. That'll be really nice to have. Should probably put them in a presentation somewhere. So Crypto Jazz, like very often you do amazing art, and I love this HSB to the Borg. It looks super cyan and it looks super cool. So we will send you, I think so it was 500 CHSB if I'm not mistaken. Talking about really cool people and the community members, I want to salute Valdior, Stanek, Kia, Shameless, Crypto Jazz, Cyber Investor, Sashif, SB Oliver, MCYS, Nick, Donoyuto Kendo, April, Borger Walker, Crypto Page, Pierre Labrugue, Nulien, Temitu, and Mathieu for sharing together $500, but more importantly, for really bringing the MEX to the world. I'm really getting a lot of great vibes regarding this. And of course, we're going to talk about the MEX right after. But again, congratulations for all of you guys that are the Zeely winners of this edition. Next community events is happening this week already on the 9th. The Guardians of the Borg, I was going to say the CHSV of the Borg are please going to be live at 7:30. It's going to be on YouTube. There's a link here. You can check it out. Or if not, it'll be, of course, on the SwissBorg main channel. Right after, it'll be discussions in French with the Smart Café with our dear, lovely Cryptophile. And we will have Cryptophile doing actually a real as well event in Fribourg at a new restaurant that I really, please recommend to go. I heard they might do a cheeseburger over there. No, I'm just making this up, but looking forward to have a burger restaurant over there. So that'll be very cool. And as well, I'll be in Lisbon next week, and we will have some events going on Tuesday. So looking forward to that as well. News of the week: SBF has been trialed and got the 7 convictions to fraud, which is very high. Actually, the court was able to, within 4 hours and 30 minutes, actually to solve this case, which is quite crazy. So yeah, it really did not go in his favor. And this will be a huge case for crypto going forward, for people making sure that they're not doing any fraud. Sol is on fire, of course, only possible with Solana, with SwissBorg. I was going to say with SwissBorg right away. OpenSea is trying to make up new thing, and Binance looking forward to what they're going to do in the near future. So now let's talk about money. Let's talk about what is happening on the markets. 12 months ago, I put this on LinkedIn. I said this on Twitter many times, that it's time to invest. This is time when you build wealth. People have listened. The Bor token itself has not performed very well. And that's pretty similar to all the altcoins. But Bitcoin, essentially Ethereum, and some others like Solana, the other different layer ones have performed extremely well in the span of this last 12 months. From 500% to all the way up down to 100%, which is still a crazy amount. And I think so what we could really figure out here is that we are at the verge of something. A lot of people are going to tell you, yeah, but the world war is going to happen, inflation is there and all that. No, markets are always looking forward, way much forward. So they anticipate 12 to 18 months, the economical cycle. So for example, if you guys remember in 2009 or 2008, sorry, people were saying, oh, we're going to in recession in 2009, right? If you guys remember that. 2009 was one of the best rallies of all time. Starting March 2009 to the end of the year, markets went up 20-25%, if I remember correctly, something like that. So the market's always looking forward, and what's going to happen, as we've seen this multiple times, is that rates will be cut. And when rates will cut, you know what happens. Essentially, everyone starts dancing in the streets, buying stocks, buying as well, essentially crypto. If this does not happen and the markets don't rally, and we see a negative correlation right now between crypto and essentially tech stocks, which is very good, is that Bitcoin is as well perceived as a very nice inflation hedge. And as with inflation still being high and they're not being able to essentially invest into other things, people are investing into gold. And what's the digital gold? It is Bitcoin. So you have a lot of theses that help, of course. And last but not least, we know that every 4 years we have cycles. And with that, we have the Bitcoin halving that usually brings the bride into a new all-time high. So for this, I really want to show that, again, Bitcoin ETF is about to happen. There's so many things aligned in the sky that will show you that we will go towards that green direction. Of course, it'll be always bumpy, and it's never sure that we could go south for some time. It could be very volatile. A lot of black swans could happen, right? But nevertheless, the consensus is a very, very strong buy, and we're seeing a lot of new net volume coming into stablecoins as well. Not only stablecoins going to crypto, but new inflows going into stablecoins, which is to prepare for this next big anticipation of this big rally, which has for me already started. And this is very positive. With SwissBorg, we're seeing every day like net inflows of 1-2 million, which is fantastic. We haven't seen that for a lot of time. Activity is well, very, very good. So all in all, it's very positive. Now let's say about October, which by the way, I told you guys that Borgtober was going to be a great month, and it was, right? I didn't say that. I get it twice in a row. Good correction. Good, not corrections. Good, not nominations. But anyways, I guys told you that's going to be fun. What we see here essentially is that the basket itself has performed quite well in general. We see that, of course, there's some tokens that have done better than others since the day one, and you have essentially Ethereum here, and this is most probably, I would say, this is the Borg token, actually. This is quite cool, but there's probably Solana in that as well. But in overall, the performance of the best of blockchain, it's really good. We're at 25% since inception of the new strategy, which is really, really good. So within a short month, 25%, that is actually really, really high returns. And this is, of course, a really good way for people to get into diversifying your portfolio with the best layer 0, 1, and 2, and the moonshots, of course, which is stacks and the Borg token. So this is, I think, something really to consider. Of course, it's a bit less volatile than regular just investing into one crypto. And for those who actually not into crypto, don't want to do the hard work, I really, again, push this product as this great basket, this thematic that can enable you to get to where we want to go and make sure that all the great infrastructure plays are within this. Golden thematic, overall, it's been choppy markets. There's been some good directions. We had missed a bit on the Bitcoin pump, unfortunately. There was more gold in Bitcoin at that time. And you see that right now, well, Bitcoin is outperforming essentially what it is. But the strategy is still doing better than 50-50, right? This 50-50 is actually the, not only is better in performance, but it's better in volatility too. So essentially, it's outperforming it very well. So it's doing its job as it is. And as you could see, since the inception, we are right now at roughly 10% of performance, which is, I think, something that we do like to see. And if this goes higher, of course, it'll be even better. But out of the last 1, 2, 3 months, it's already a very good performance, I would say. Last but not least, of course, the Borg itself. The migration of the Borg has happened very well, so happened very smoothly. We have seen a lot of people converting, swapping essentially their tokens in the app, but out of the app too. Everything is flawlessly. And what I like very much about the Borg token, if we zoom out here, is that it has been channeling, between 10, 20 cents. And now we finally get above those 20 cents, which I think so is a very nice indicator of the future is going to be bright. So talking about Moon and talking about cool haircuts, this is what I presented at last Breakpoint, which was really, really good. Really, really remarkable, to be honest, to be on the main stage just before, after Kyle from one of the best multi-coin capital, one of the best VCs that's investing a lot on Solana, and just before Balaji, the network staked a Prince, right? So it was really cool to be on the main stage, and for that, I just wanted to share this beautiful, essentially MEX strategy that we're putting in place. If this is SwissBorg, right, the face, and we onboard the million users here, the backend essentially would be that we have Solana as a trading backend for us. And I think so this is something that's very, very important to understand, is that while we'll bring trading volume onto FX and SEXs, we're bringing as well trading volume essentially on Solana. For this, I think so is one of the kind. No one has really able to be built this. For those who don't remind ourselves is that when SEX makes DEX equals MEX, that is something that no one has. No one has been able to develop this. And this is exactly what was the second video of SwissBorg. I feel the urge to merge the off-chain world and the on-chain world. If you guys remember that moment, well, I am fortunate to see that 6 years later, we finally made it. And that's actually 6 years day to day. So that's almost 2,000 plus days. But hey, you know what? When you put really hard work, you get to do it. And for this, the meta exchange that we've built is that now we're just competing on a different league. There's no SEX DEX, there's no Binance or others and SwissBorg. SwissBorg is completely different. Not only have this decentralized matter of built by Nicio, being part of the Series A's, having 17,000 shareholders, having a token that enables you to have superpower with the Borg is decentralizing it. We're actually using blockchain technology for you guys, and we're doing, of course, Forex best with the 16 fiat gateways. This really helps the fact that we're regulating, we're playing this very smart. The fact we have aggregated the best SEX as well to get the best volume, get most tokens, but as well now DEX to have all these different DEX that will be plugging on. And if you look at this beautiful result, this is what it is. How to go from Swiss francs to your favorite Helium token. And in this example, which is really brilliant, you go from 100 francs, essentially, you're going to get one HNT is 1 franc 40. This doesn't exist, obviously. It's not only so convenient, but it really enables you to arbitrage market makers themselves from doing FX at the best price, so converting your francs into GBP, then your GBP on LMAX to get the best amount of Ether, eventually your Ether to split it through Binance to get the best amount of SOL and USDC, and finally through decentralized exchange through Orca, which is one of the main DEX on Solana, to get this amount of essentially of HNT. And this is done within one click, and it's the best price that you get. And you're using finally blockchain in the most transparent, cool way. So I'm so excited to show this to the world. We should show it more and more. Everyone that was at Breakpoint was like, guys, but how are you guys not more famous? How does not everyone use you? And I think so it's really true. We're a bit too shy sometimes. So let's please show this to the world and show that the new SEX is actually MEX. So let's talk about Helium and why we listed this token. We strongly believe that Helium has a great future because it already has a very strong presence. And talking about what is Helium, let's now figure out first what this DPIN means. DPIN means a decentralized physical infrastructure network. Okay, so this means essentially it enables to decentralize different networks and really to plug in the whole IoT concept, right? Back in the days, if you guys remember, there was IOTA, a blockchain really built for this. And right now, the idea is to really create a network that incentivizes people to decentralize these physical infrastructures, networks that could reward people by when they're providing this energy, when they're providing essentially this network and supporting it. So it's a way that you could mine and that people on the back end could consume essentially what you are providing as a network. And there's so many different use cases to it. So first, the team itself they've been into this game for now, I think it's almost 10 years. So they've really been building great things. It's a decentralized team of the US, Canada, a little bit really everywhere. And what I like as well is that this is not like a concept. This is actually a blockchain that is already working by itself. It's a network that has a lot of use cases, and we could run the different use cases here actually. So a lot of different IoT companies today essentially are happy to finally get these different networks. These networks, essentially, people are able to buy these essentially units of network, and then people that provide essentially get rewarded in these tokens. What will happen is that they'll have more and more great use cases, and one of the next big one is about 5G. We know that the coverage of 5G is very difficult to manage, especially in different places that are maybe in the desert or whatsoever, like in Texas, for example, or maybe some places we have here in Switzerland, the mountains, right? Here, the idea is how you could create this essentially 5G that could be supported from your own essentially IoT devices that could then branch out to a lot of different other places where people could get connected. And if you think about that, you could think about roaming, you think about cellular coverage in general. You talk about a lot of different things that first in the beginning looks like it's cute and it's funny, but the more you get into deep in, the more you understand that this is going to be more and more interesting, not only on economical cases, but essentially to have self-sovereignty as well. So it gets more and more interesting how essentially DeepIn is being playing. And as you can see here, there's a lot of different companies that are already users of this network, right? So that means that people are actually using this network in order to streamline their IoT devices. And that means that people are essentially mining and providing essentially this network to these different companies that are very happy to do so. So I think so this is really, really cool. I really believe that the 5G hotspot is one of the big ones, because again, this is still not there, and it's something that is very important. And for this, yeah, I really like the DeepIn as a real use case. The team is excellent, and the token itself has strong use case. It's still very undervalued because it's a Solana token that is not listed in many different exchanges, sexes. But now with the LMAX, the great thing is that we can list any token that's on the Solana network. And that's why it's only possible with Solana with SwissBorg. Talking about work, token migration is happening with Merit Circle, which essentially will be going to Beam itself. So it's going to be great. If you guys remember, Merit Circle is a gaming guild, is how to really empower essentially GameFi into crypto. And the migration will happen seamlessly on SwissBorg. So for now, we're alting withdrawal and deposits and trading, but this will be resumed very shortly. We talked about this a bit earlier. The chat bot is finally live, so you could check it out. Within the app, you could ask the chat essentially different questions. And if you have any suggestions, please let us know on Twitter. We're very happy to receive your reviews on that. Buyback, it's Buyback. So I think so what is very important to know is that as we have these guardians of the Bor token happen every month, it's you to decide if essentially the Bor token will be bought, and then if they will be burnt or not burnt, or how they be used. So this is something that's very important. What I love about the new fashion of being able to do these buybacks and is that the burning mechanism is not, finally we could actually burn them and not send them to just an address that no one has the private keys. So this is something that's really cool. Talking about this, you know that there's 500,000 Borg that were burnt. It was tested and it works very well. So they're really removed from the supply. So this shows that the Borg migration happened very well. And technically, this new token has great token economics. Again, Guardians CHSB, the results, I insist again, will happen this Thursday at 7:30 CT. Weekly in Bor Data, things are going very well. I'm very excited. Almost 443 essentially premium that came in last week, which is a lot, which brings us to 45,000 finally, which is amazing. Next capped, it's 46,000, of course. Now over 151,000 people as well holders in the app. So this is really great. You're seeing new people coming into the app, people getting into premium, which is really amazing, especially at these prices, which are still obviously a bit low comparable times high. Bringing up the community index. Last week we had actually a crazy score. It was 7.4, I think so. So what is this week? It's still very high, but lower from last week. Borg is done well. The volume is picking up as well, but activity not as good. Social media not as good from last week either. I think so. It had a lot to do with the LMAX, of course. The holders growing and invitations as well growing. That's really good. Borgers, I couldn't be more excited about, how this new sex meets DEX equals MEX, right? I think so. The MEX is really something that is really powerfully different. We really haven't shown as well how this will be as well, a new way to bring market making on chain as well, how the Bor token will have a big play into this as well going forward. So there's still a lot of things that we're working and how we can incentivize people through the Borg and how to get the yield and different DeFi protocols. So there's still a lot to do, but the big thing is that the train is now built on very solid foundation, and that train is taking off slowly but slowly, and in different wagons we have different things to be done, and it's just to put a lot of cool people and to join a smooth ride that I think so the future is going to be extremely bright. I cannot again say that we are in a new cycle. And this is something very important to grasp, is that we are in a new cycle. It's going to be very volatile. There's going to be very ups and downs. There's going to be some sad moments, but there's going to be as well a lot of great moments where people is going to be substantial wealth is going to be made in the next semesters to come. So for that, I always take a grain of salt to get your hero score as high as possible and to make sure that you workers are delivering the right things in the right time, and making sure as well that people around you, that this is the time to start out to get into crypto. If people missed the last season or got into the season, got burnt, this is the time to recharge, to get to understand in what you're investing and how we're decentralizing the world in a better way and offering financial freedom to all. As always, guys, be healthy, be wealthy, love our Borg and our equity. Take care, guys. Much love.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you 0 fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.